All right, so we'll do some questions, guys. Try to keep them production focused, like on Kirk's career. You know, if you want to ask him like what his favorite color is, there's a meet and greet after that for that kind of stuff. So,
and I also want to just say thank you everybody for coming out. It's honestly been a very great ass experience. Like, it's so beautiful. Like, honestly, like I love doing master classes, dog. Like, it's liberating for me, honestly.
Hey, so my name is Samin.
What's up, bro?
Forever inspired me, like since like late night special, crazy,
Thank
bro.
you, dog.
My question is, once you got into making beats, the mixing aspect of it, how did you go about it?
All right, let's talk about that. Yeah. Boom. All right. This is the first lesson of Kirk Mix School. Don't worry about the mix. Worry about your leveling. Like in terms of like, it's technically still worrying about the mix, but leveling is like the lowest level of mixing and stuff like that. The reason why people's shit bang more than you is because they're just leveling it right. They're not even really doing any extras. Like, they don't know anything about API plugins and the UAD plug. They don't know anything about that for real, honestly. I'm just now learning about UAD plugins for real. They're literally just leveling what they want you to hear right. Like, all right, if it's a drum dude, all of their drum percussion section is gonna knock crazy because he's focused on hearing the drums. So the melodies is gonna be tucked behind that. Now, if you got somebody like Dr. Genius, shout out Dr. Genius, fucking man, shout out Dr. Genius, love him. He's more focused on melodies. His stuff still bang, but his melodies are really like, it's like it's way louder than the drums. Like, it's still knocking, but the melodies, you can hear it, so you can sing it. That's why I like a lot of Cudi stuff is more melody-driven than drum-driven, really, really. So now, what I try to do is make sure you can have all your stuff clipping in terms of your tracks, like your kick, that's the third. It's your master track that can't clip. If your master track is clipping, then the beat is gonna sound horrible, honestly. And I'm saying this for the people who like clipping. Now, if you don't like clipping, I advise that you stay away from it, honestly speaking. Because at the end of the day, in mastering, they're gonna boost everything up. So honestly, the lower all of the instruments that you have in your track is the better, honestly. But this is where things get confusing. Artists nowadays, attention span is the size of a walnut. So they need everything blasting like fuck, right? So this is what I recommend for people in terms of mixing and stuff like that, right? When you got your sample, like, all right, say you got a melody, whatever, you playing a sample, whatever. I know a lot of people be saying like, oh yeah, like you need fat filter, da. You don't need any of that. You literally can use a stock EQ on God. I use stock EQs all the time. My favorite EQ is EQ3 in Ableton. And I literally just take out all the low ends. Now my 808s is right there because that's all low end. You should just start taking certain frequencies out that you don't want clashing. Like, that's literally what they're doing better than you. It's not any special type of plugin or anything. Like, there's literally that. Like, all right, I'm going to take out all the low ends in the sample so this piano sounds like it's floating in thin air, and I want these 808s under it, like a horse, a chariot, or whatever. That's literally, if you look at music like that, that's literally what's happening, honestly. Like, you got the kicks and the snares and all that, the wheels and all that. You got the 808s as the actual horse. You got, like, you know what I'm saying? For real. Like, I'm sorry, my mind is, as you can see, my mind is crazy. I'm talking about horses and shit, comparing it to music. I'm crazy. But anyway, like I'm saying, taking out all the low ends so the 808s could breathe more, and then adding reverb to the sample to sound like all Drake and Ghost and Spacey. Like, it's little shit. They're not doing that much. Even with the Mob Ties beat, there's not that much going on in that beat. Literally not that much going on. It's just how he leveled, how Boy Wonder leveled it, and where those snares are hitting. It's like about where you placing it, where you want it to hear. Like, if you want some shit like that, then you're going to triple it the snare. Like, you feel me? It's like what you want. And then now if you like, yo, I want people to notice that snare is doing that, then just bring that up a little bit higher than everything else. Like, literally, that's what it is for me. And that's what, because when you sit there thinking about mixing the record, you're literally wasting creativity. Literally wasting it. It's like burning. It's like you got like a creativity clock right here and it's burning down just because you're sitting there worried about mixing. Like, don't worry about none of that shit. Like, even all of the baby's new shit with Jetson made another one. Like, I don't know him. He's on the come up fire. Love his shit. I doubt he's worried about mixing. His 808s be busting. Like, it's damn near clipping to me. But it's like, who cares? The aggression that the baby's going in with his vocals is clashing with that 808 so well. It's like, wow, this record's amazing. A lot of people they're not even listening for the mix. You're the only one listening for that. Sometimes the littlest shit that you're like, why does it sound like this? The average person is not even listening to that because their ear is not even tuned to that frequency. So that's why I be saying, like, with my mixing classes, like, don't worry about the mix. Because majority of the time, you think Chief Keef is worrying about a mix? Honestly speaking, you think if that shit does not bang and he can't, if I can't rap, if I can't do my sauce on it, and that's no disrespect to Big Sosa. I love Big Sosa. Feel me? I'm just saying, like, if it's not banging, then what's, like, it don't matter. And that's like 98% of artists right now. Like, then you got, like, the Kendricks and the J. Coles, but they understand about post-production. A lot of people don't even understand that too. Like, at the end of the day, these records don't just come out perfect. They're gonna ask you for the stems. Like, it's all about if you get your point across in the beat. Like, all right, this is the type of beat I'm going for. Like, say I'm trying to make a dark, twisted fantasy beat. So the beat is mixed horrible, but you can hear SB1200 and you can hear the Sub Fatty and then you can hear a Prophet 12. As long as the man is here, oh, wow, he's going like analog and yeah, let's go. We need this. They're going to go get Charlie Wilson and this keyboard from the Himalayas and they're going to do all that. That's not your job. At that point, your job is done. They could create it into some next shit as long as you get your point across. Like, that's it. Honest to God. If that answers your questions. All right, for sure.
So my question is, what was the track that made you feel confident as a rapper?
Oh, damn, that's a good-ass question. I ain't never heard a question like that. Damn, that's a good question, boy. That's actually nobody ever, man. Hey, ain't nobody ever asked me that question, man. Shit, what the hell? I've been doing this shit for 8 years. Ain't nobody asked me. Nah. What was the first? Damn, boy, that's a good question, boy. The first record that made me feel like I could do this, boy. I wouldn't say that. Oh no, where's that? Facts. That's definitely. I had to think. I'm like, this guy. There was this moment I remember where it's at, boy. It was when we performed the SOBs, boy, and I had a tank top on. I don't ever wear a tank top, so that was different. Like, I don't ever wear a tank top, and I was swagging on this fine thing on the stage to my verse, and I was the only nigga that did that, brought a girl on the stage, boy, and that's why I was like, boy, I'm that nigga, son. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care if Joey in the front, nigga. I'm right there, nigga. That's literally what. That was the moment. That was the moment. Thank you for asking me that. Like, I needed that for my own self. So thank you for real. All right, next question.
What's good, man? Thanks for all the gems, bro. So, with sample culture right now, where do you think it's at? Where is it going? And how often are you using samples organically? And how often are you creating melodies like off the dome?
Okay. Samples actually are really heavy back in the game right now due to the fact that you have people like Frank Duke and you have Q Beats and you have what's another good melody dude that be making some fire? T-minus. So you got producers going back in again and making their stuff. So I think right now is really prominent just because at least from what I hear, like, Wonder Girl uses a lot of samples and shit. Like, I don't know if this is true, but I just heard, and like, a lot of producers, when you see like 2 producers on one beat or like 3 producers on one beat, usually they're using somebody's sample and then they're using a loop or something, that's the third. So I think, and especially with like websites like Splice and stuff like that, like loops and stuff like that are way more prominent in sampling. I would say royalty-free shit is definitely taking over the world. Like, that is the thing to do now. And you got people like, how you say his last name? Nick Maria? Nick Mer. I always say his last name weird. I don't know why. But, like, for example, him creating those melodies for Juice WRLD, and, like, they're actually really, like, intricate melodies that he's drawing in and stuff like that. So I think it's actually really playing a big role. And, yeah, nowadays I don't really sample like that unless it's royalty free. All that old sample from vinyls and all that stuff, the only reason why it's dead is because when it becomes a hit record, it becomes a problem. Simple as that. As soon as it becomes a hit, it's a problem. If it's not a hit, fine, go ahead, do whatever. As soon as it becomes a hit, it's over. You're not seeing no bread. They taking all the bread. And then it's like, not for nothing, you're the one that got them even popular in the atmosphere of what, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in terms of, like, some artists you sample from this genre, now they popping again. You feel me? And not for nothing, it was because of you. But you're not going to get that credit because you sampled them. I don't got time for that. In my pockets, they don't got time for that neither. For real, honestly, honest to God. So, at the end of the day, that's when I started being like, all right. And it's actually more challenging. Because then you got to think about it like this. Pharrell was not using samples all those years. That's a lot of not sampling. That's a lot. Like, the most he would probably sample is like a drum, but a lot of this shit was he's playing all that shit. So shit like that is inspiring to me because then it's kind of like you pushing the envelope of yourself. You feel me? Samples is dope though. Like, I always encourage people to use samples because that's how you're gonna get your training of what you want records to sound like. But I always strive. If you know how to play instruments, it's always way better. It's always way better. Because then, see, the thing with samples, there might be a certain thing that you don't like about it, but you can't change it because you ain't play it. And then it's like you trying to explain it to the dude who played it, but he not going to see it because he made it. He like, nigga, this is fire. What are you talking about, this sound? That sound I love. But when you're making it yourself, you have all creative control how to change the record. And then you can sample yourself. Because then it's like, say you make this super pop record with this guy, and then it's like, you like, word, like, but then I chopped it up and then I made this song with Ferg. Then it's lit. Because then it's like you're sampling yourself at that point. And I know people like, probably like Frank Dukes and Q Beats be going through it all the time. They probably got 4 producers sampling them. And they making 4 types of revenue streams of bread because it's like they chopping it up different. So that's why, I don't know, I feel like royalty-free samples and trying to push yourself in terms of making samples always just going to go farther. Because when it's yours, dog. Like, you could literally flip it in the next 10 years and make another hit with the same shit. You know how much hit records was made with the same shit? Like, I didn't even realize, like, wait, oh, Lil Jon. It was, fuck, I forgot this. Oh, this would have been so dope. It's 2 records that are on the 2 completely different scales of music, and he's using the same sounds. I forgot what songs it was, bruh. Fuck. Oh, it was yeah. What's the name of that one? Yeah. Oh, yeah, word. That was funny. I'm stupid. It was yeah, and it's another record. Oh, P.D. Pablo, call it number 1. And it like freakily. Yo, I swear to God, this shit is crazy. Listen to those 2 songs. Literally the same sounds is being used. 2 different hits on God. On God. Shit was, I seen it and this is just a gem to inspire you. Like, I be looking for shit like this just to inspire. Like, you feel me? Like, that shit inspired me so much, dog. And like, even when you look at people like, one of my like favorite producers, honestly, in terms of like new shit, is like Southside. Honestly, I think Southside's really slept on. I feel like people don't really realize the amount, like the shit that Southside be doing. Like, it really be crazy. But even with him, I feel like a lot of the times he uses the same sounds. It's just he's flipping it different. And it's like, you got to understand the tempo, the sound, what melodies you use. It's all confusing and tricking the ear from even noticing you're using the same shit. Oh, God. And that's what I realized as a producer, too. It's like, nah, nigga, you can use it like 3 more times. You got some, you see when you got that one T-shirt that you like, nah, I was boofed that day. You can't wear it no more. But then you got that shirt that you like, I was boofed, but yeah, nah, I could last another day. You got to think of music like that. Like, it's not just a one-trick thing. Like, you could keep reusing it. Think about, like, and some people don't think about drums as samples. Think about them drums as samples, too. Keep reusing them motherfuckers. If you find that 808, that's the one, go. Because that's what works for you. That's what gets you what your sound is. You feel me? So, yeah, to answer the question. I could go on for days, as you can see. Like, this shit, my mind just be going. Yeah, next question, though.
Hey, man, thanks for
Hey,
doing
what's
this.
going on?
Awesome to hear you talk.
Thank you, dog.
Also, ShiShi the man, too. So my question was, what's your journey been like moving from or trying to maybe build or grow from being like a beat maker to a producer? You know what I mean? Like directing the artists in the studio while they're in the studio and saying, let's try this. I'm going to push you here. You know, if you've been through that path, can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, no, for sure. I love to. I felt like I learned that with being with Joey. Because there was certain things that I wasn't doing, and Joey was like, all right, I'll tell you one moment that made me realize it. There was a lot of moments, but this was definitely one moment that made me realize I should speak up more. So when we was doing Before the Money, we went out to LA and we was seeing Hit Boy. And I remember this was like right around like Niggas in Paris time, I think. But, like, either way, you already know buzz from records lasts for a minute. So, like, I'm like, oh, shit, like, this Niggas in Paris, Hit Boy. Like, you know what I'm saying? We had his crib. First thing I noticed, he has a pair of KRKs. I was like, wow, he uses regular shit, boosted mine, right? Because I know, as a producer, when you start seeing, like, people that you look up to use the same equipment as you, it's truly inspiring. It has nothing to do with your sound or nothing. It's just inspiring. So I'm there, and I'm like, so we're going through beats. And Joey doesn't even know this, but this is something I share with y'all because it's true. But so he's going through beats, and he's sitting there passing up on beats that I feel like he would sound so great on, but he's just not hearing it. And I'm like, yo, why didn't he pick that beat? That beat was fire. But that's me as a producer to step in and be like, yo, you should take that beat and get that beat. And this has nothing to do with the boards. This has nothing to do with anything. That's why I'm saying this story, because it literally has nothing to do with even me. It's not even me playing the beats. So I'm listening. I'm like, yo, this beat is crazy. And it's like we're hearing it for the first time. But I wasn't as confident, and I was still shy. So I was just like, you know what? That's Hit Boy. He know what he doing, and Joey gonna know what he doing. He Joey. I can't tell him what to do. And I let it rock. And then he picked Belly of the Beast for Before the Money and stuff like that. And it's not a bad beat. Love the beat. But I'm telling you, dog, he passed up some beats on God, son. I wish I said something. And that's when I realized, I'm like, word. Like, I need to say shit more. That was one instance. And the second instance was I was in the studio and we was doing Jesus View. And I remember I didn't like, what did I didn't like? I didn't like the way like he flowed this one word. And then I was just kind of like, I wanted to say something. And it worked out. It's when he said, I can't even say the line anymore, but if you listen to Jesus View, it's like, he's like, push you back to 1999. Like, it just sounded like rushed to me. But that's his flow. You feel me? So I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, yo, I should have said something, dog. Like, it don't sound right to me. And it never did. Still don't to this day. But I love the record, though. It's nothing against the record, and I love that song. But I just wish I said something. Like, I was like, I wonder if the line would even change if I said something. Like, you feel me? And that was another instance that made me be like, nigga, just say something. You feel me? And that's why I always strive people to just say it. Because even if they don't like it, what you said, they're going to think about it like, Like, if they don't know why they don't like something, if you say something, then they're going to pimp, oh, that's why I don't like that shit. They not going to know they don't like it because sometimes their ear not even listening to that. They listening to, like, yo, nah, that line was fire, nigga. Like, da-da-da. Like, they not listening to, like, the sonics of the whole record sometimes and shit like that. And that's when you start realizing it start eating at you. Like, when you're not saying what you got to say. Like, it's really just start eating at you. When it start eating at you, it's your decision to say it's enough. Like, yeah.
We'll just do one more question, and then we'll do the meet and greet.
I see what that good dot creep on, though. We're going to start off with that. You know what I'm saying? I see. Hold on. I got to get that on the. I see what that good dot creep on. Damn, my phone's blowing up.
Put me on.
Yeah, man. I see you with that good ass dot creep on. Look, and I see that hat behind. Yeah. That's what we talking about. Yo, throw your.
I just.
When you get a chance, throw your Instagram in there, man.
I'm not.
Yeah,
Sorry. Thanks for coming out. First of all, I respect you. And
yeah, for sure.
JBL, ShiShi, everybody. But I wanted to know if you're a creative or an artist or producer. Like, I do a lot of things, but music is mainly my focus.
Yeah.
I like a lot of artists and genres, and I do a lot of genres. Do you think you should focus on one or do what you like?
And that's the problem I had a lot.
I had an album, a couple of them that I dropped, but the first song is not the same as the last song, whatever. And I don't know if that's a bad thing or good, but
You're testing the waters, so it's not a bad thing.
right,
But doing it forever is a bad thing.
facts.
Because then they're not going to know, like, what are you mainly trying to do?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's got to be a point in your artistry that you show what you're really trying to do. And then you can do all the other shit.
Word.
But you got to focus. Right now, you're testing the waters. Are you putting any of the music out?
Oh yeah,
So-
Spotify, all that good stuff.
Exactly. So just keep on building the fan base and doing research of what they like and what they
Right.
don't like. You feel me? And then whichever ones you want to take a chance and a risk on, then you go full-fledged. For example, like right now, I'll give you an example. Me. All right, I'm doing melodic shit right now. Everybody knows me for having bars and shit like that. Everybody knows me for having beats or whatever. Everybody's telling me like, yo, you should rap, but in my heart, like I really want to sing and do melodies and shit. So I'm like, all right, what do I do? Do I just do both or do I just do one? And then I was just like, what is my end goal?
Right.
Am I trying to rap forever or am I trying to sing forever? What ain't rap looking like right now? I don't think niggas is rapping. That's it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's all preference. It's all what you ideally want to do.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's how I looked at it. I know that when I heard, and this is just I know a whole bunch of Cudi records. I'm just using a new one for example because it's recent and everybody knows. When I sing the hook for Reborn, it's like I'm literally being reborn. I've never felt no rap lyric as much as I felt something like that. Right. Or like a Cudi hum or anything like that. Like, I'd just be like, bro, like, or like when Travis tries to do it and it's like, oh, wow. It's like, this is great.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you got to think about it like this. Like, I was just talking to Ashish about it downstairs. I was saying, like, yo, you got two types of artists. You got a Hove, you got like a Cudi and Kanye. Right? Cudi obviously does not give a fuck about money at all. He cares to inspire. He inspired so much that he made Travis Scott. Travis Scott literally put the man's name in his rap name to champion his love for Kid Cudi. Right. You have Hove. Billionaire, made it his own way. 26 years doing it, came from the trap, for me. But he did it his own way. What's the difference between these two, right? Jay-Z raps, Cudi sings. Who's more relevant? Now, we're not talking about history or anything. We're talking about the future. I would say Cudi. You want to know why? Because he made Travis Scott, who's going to carry on his legacy.
Facts.
Hove doesn't really have anybody like that. But he did inspire and motivate a whole bunch of other niggas to get their own money and get their own hustle, this at the third, right? Cudi inspired people from killing themselves. You gotta know what you wanna do.
Right.
Cudi was fine with just being like, I don't care about being the richest man. As long as I save a kid's life, I did my job. And he did, because he made Travis Scott. And now Travis Scott continues the lineage of saving people's lives with music. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now with Hove, his lineage, his shit didn't stop. It's just that there's nobody like, I would say like, all right, yeah, like, he is like, his whole thing is because of Hove, Nah, like, they're inspired by his hustle, this at the third, but it's, like, you get what I'm saying? And not for nothing, the melodies, and this is my world. You could say rap lasts longer. It's fine, it's cool. But all I know is the same chords have been played through music for like ever.
Yeah.
And the fact that people still could come up with melodies and this at the third, that shit will always be forever. There's so much you could rap about, dog. Like, it's so much you could rap about. Like, in terms of, it's but so much you could rap about. Like, rap is literally about self-indulging. Like, and it depends on what kind of rap you are, but like, the bubble for what to rap about is not as big for a person that's singing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just wanted to give y'all that.